right. I'm going to make this brief. I'm going to try not to make this a long, drawn-out podcast because it's not my usual podcast. I just had some thoughts going through my mind, basically from a live video or podcast that I actually tuned in today on Mature Life Radio. So it kind of like went over, going back to the comments, seeing what people had to say and things like that. So I wanted to do this video once again for you because I know that I've talked about this before. Let me do something, guys. I got my laptop right here. So if you see me looking over here, I actually have my laptop here. But I did touch on this before, and I know I have because, like I said, I've been doing this for a very long time, long enough, and I know that I have touched on this topic. But when I realize that things constantly keep coming up, and the topic is fresh, people are still talking about it, then I feel a need to go ahead and address the situation again. All right. So, hold on one second. Let me try and find my live so I can share it. Which I don't know where it is. Which I normally do this. I don't like the way Facebook kind of switched up their page. I don't like this new layout. It seems like it's just, I don't know. I don't like it. Okay, here it is. All right, so let me make this brief. It's 8:30. I want to be done by 9. So, and I don't even really want to do 30 minutes because I don't think it's going to take that long. But you guys know Miss Ross has the gift of gab, so I can be long-winded, especially when it comes down to things that, to me, that matters, that people need to hear. Okay. All right, so that's gone. Okay. All right, guys, Miss Ross here. Now, I wanted to, again, basically talk to you guys about a conversation that I was, I kind of joined in on a conversation when Mature Life Radio went live today, and we're talking about, basically they had several different topics, real estate issues and things like that. Then we got on the subject about black women, the whole submissive thing with black women and black men. Basically, the host of the show, Big Man Kelly, saw a video, and I saw the video myself. I saw the video a long time ago, but it was a video that basically portrayed black women as being more submissive to white men. And so that's where everything kind of started from. And me doing this live for you now basically comes from one of the comments that a gentleman made. So thought I heard my daughter, but anyways, and he was on point. He basically said what I have been saying for years, and I keep saying it, and it seems like no one is getting it. But as you guys can see in my caption, it's very important for you guys, and I cannot stress to you guys how important this is, but it is very important for you, each and every last one of you, male and female. You have to know what you want. And I know that a lot of you take that statement lightly. No, that statement is deep. You have to dig deeper into that because it means a lot. Once you take that and once you put it inside you and you feed off of it, it will change your life. Trust me, it will change your life. Ariana, hold on, guys. Come here for a second, please. Turn this off. And close it. It's still on. Thank you. And close that too. All right, thank you. Don't want to burn the house down. And can you do me another favor, sweetie? Pull that ceiling fan on, because I'm getting kind of hot. Kind of hot in here. No, not the light. Yeah. Yeah, just leave it. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, thanks, ma'am. But anyways, guys, so it is very important that you know what you want. And I say that because, and this is what, like, one of the gentlemen said on the post. He said that a lot of men, they don't know what they want, which is ultimately the cause of them being the cause of so many women, being hurt, and, so many situations just seeming like it's just so complicated. But that is true. But it goes for both. It goes for male and female. So when I say you have to know what it is you want, you have to know without any doubt. No doubts. Like I told him, yeah, you have to know what you want. But number one, you have to know who you are. All right. And I'm trying to take my time with this, guys, because I really want you guys to understand how important it is. Before, okay, there's two steps to this. Before you can know what you want, you must know who you are. You cannot know what you want before knowing who you are. How could you say that you want something, but you don't know if you are the type of person that can handle that want, needs that want, or would even be satisfied with that want? The only way that you would know that for sure is to know who you are. And the other night, I was questioning myself about a situation that I was in. And I ask myself all the time, I say, listen, you're trying to pursue this and you're pursuing that. Is that really what you want? And how you figure out what you want is, for me, number one, try to figure out what it is you need in your life. Now, I want to stick to the topic of relationships because I see a lot of relationships. The reason why a lot of relationships fail is because one or the two really don't know what they want. What they have done is settled out of exhaustion. You've settled out of, getting older. You've settled with the situation that you really never wanted from the beginning. You don't want that situation. Now, this is what I had to do because I had a lot of thought about this. So I had to actually write some notes down because I didn't want to, go off topic. So I wrote down me some notes just in case if I lose my train of thought. Because, this is something that I really want you guys to get. So I'm talking to women. I'm talking to females. Life is not about just trying to find somebody because you're lonely or because you feel like you deserve to be with someone. We all deserve to be with someone. That is how our Creator designed us. If we were designed to be by ourselves, then there would only be one gender. There wouldn't be male and female if God did not make it so that we are to be with somebody. So yes, everybody is supposed to be with someone. I just got a text or something, so that's why I just looked up. So, I want you guys, before you jump into these situations with people, think about, and don't be so quick to be in a hurry to get into a relationship with somebody. Study that person. Find out if that person is, we know you want that person. And a lot of our wants come from the physical attraction of someone. See, our wants come from what we see on the surface. So that's why we feel like we want it. It's just like going out and buying a car. Like my dad always tell me, you want to buy a car because you feel like it looks good or it's going to make you look good. But that's not what you want. And my dad says that all the time. And I'm always like, what do you mean that's not what I want? I do want this car. I want it. He's like, no, that's not what you want. Meaning, that's not what you need. What you need to do is go and find out what that car looks like under the hood. Because see, you want that car based on how it looks and how you know it's going to make you look. But what you need to do is really find out if that car is what you need. And if that car is what you need, then you could go ahead and apply that want and go ahead and get that car. So making life decisions, and people take relationships lightly. I used to take relationships lightly, and I used to just, talk to somebody or deal with somebody without a care in the world, because dating is dating, right? But you have to understand that we all have an important responsibility in life. Everybody's purpose in life is to make sure that the next person's life is better and good and without stress. So, you don't want to be a contributor to someone's pain and agony and misery, So I take relationships serious, and I'm not so quick to jump into a relationship with somebody just because I feel like that person can, possibly take care of me or make me look good, or, I see a lot of relationships are only together because they look good together. They're only together because people say you look good together. I mean, I've experienced all of this. I went through this with my ex-husband, and like I said, my life with him, I put in a lot of years with him. So most of my experiences are about him. But, I lived it, and I know what I'm talking about because I was there. I've been there and I've done all of this, wanting to be with him. But the only reason I wanted to be with him at the time is because he did, in a way, provide for me to a certain degree, like I was comfortable, I was content, and we look good together. We look good together. We put our pictures on Facebook. People be like, "Ooh, you and Aaron look so good together," whatever. So a lot of it came from that too. The publicity of our marriage. We looked good together, but it wasn't what I really wanted. And it wasn't what I really wanted because when I got with him, I didn't know what I wanted. When he got with me, he didn't know what he wanted. And it takes a long time for people to figure out what it is they want. You don't just figure out what you want like that overnight, because if that were the case, we wouldn't make as many mistakes that we do. We wouldn't make the choices that we make and then end up, trying to get out of the situation later if we actually knew what we wanted. And that's the thing. You ever find yourself in a situation where, you're in this situation because you wanted the situation, but then when you got into the situation, and it might have been months, years down the road, you finally realize that you don't want to be in the situation no more. You know why? Because you don't want it. That's not what you wanted. And you didn't know that because you didn't know who you was. You didn't find out before you got into that relationship who you was. Because if you would have researched yourself, if you would have done the homework on you, you would have known from the very beginning that this woman is not the type of woman that you want. That this man is not the type of man that you want. Now, you might have wanted that man or that woman because of a physical attraction, because of the chemistry. But you didn't want the rest of what that person had to offer, which is why you now become someone else's problem, or they become your problem. You become their pain. They become your pain. You hurt them and they hurt you because you don't know who you are. And they probably don't know who they are. So now you're in this situation with this person. Here you are in your thoughts on one end of the house thinking, what have I gotten myself into? And they're on the other end of the house thinking, what have I gotten myself into? But nobody's coming together and communicating and saying, look, we made a mistake. You know why? Because at this point, a lot of us are in relationships and have been in them for so long that we've come complacent. We've come just to the point where we're comfortable, we're stuck. We don't want to move. It seemed like it's been too long. Like, how can I possibly, move forward from this situation? And that's where I was for a long time. So for a long time, I didn't want to separate from my husband because he was somebody that I had gotten comfortable with. I knew him, even though I wasn't happy with his ways, the way that he was, and, the things that he did would just get up under my skin. And I know that there were a lot of things that I did that bothered him and made him feel like he was just going insane. And and the only reason we aggravated each other like that is because we probably wasn't meant to be together from the beginning. Matter of fact, we wasn't, especially not at that time. Now, had I have met him where I am now, knowing who I am and knowing what I want, and then having to change some things about myself, it probably would have worked. But because, again, I didn't know what I wanted, he didn't know what he wanted, we were just going through life, being with each other for simply the companionship. Just to say we're married and we have somebody that we can come home to. Because a lot of people I hear, they say, I just don't want to come home by myself. I don't want to sleep alone. Well, guess what? One part of my progress was also learning how to love myself and my own company. So you know what I deal with now? I deal with, am I really ready for a man to move in with me? That's the part that scares me now. Not finding somebody. I'm not going to have a problem finding anybody. I'm just at the point where I've gotten so comfortable with it just being me and my girls. I question, do I even really want a relationship? Can I handle the responsibilities of a relationship? Because a relationship has responsibilities. You have to have a certain level of respect for your relationship. So that means when I go out and do events and I'm out and I'm doing things, I can freely go and come as I please. I don't have a curfew. I don't have to come home to anyone. But when I get a man, if my man is uncomfortable with me being out after a certain period of time, I'm going to have to rearrange my whole schedule because I don't want to be disrespectful towards my relationship, nor do I want to make him uncomfortable. So there are a lot of responsibilities, a lot of sacrifices that come with a relationship. And I question myself as to, are you ready for that again? Are you ready to cook 5 days out the week? I know how to cook, but I haven't done that in so long. My kids and I usually go out to eat, sometimes. And when I do cook now, I basically cook like appetizers. My kids we eat appetizers. We don't really eat entrees and full course meals because we're girls. We don't eat like that. Now, when a man comes in the house, that's a different story. Because when I was married to my husband, he expected a meal on the table when he came home from work. That was the traditional way of marriage. Hey, I go to work. You need to cook, clean, take care of the kids, and have my dinner on the table. And we did that. I might have did that maybe 5 times out the week, unless he gave me a pass and said, don't worry about it. I already stopped and got me something to eat. And I'm like, whew, thank you, Jesus, because I did not want to get in that kitchen. So I'm thinking, I'm searching myself. And I get a lot of people say, Miss Ross, why are you single? Why are you not with someone? And it's not that I don't want to be with someone, because I had someone that I was in love with and I still care about this person, but it just didn't work out like that. The situation, things happen. And that's in my situation that it just happened like that. It just didn't work out. But at the end of the day, when I realized that it wasn't going to work out, I kind of got I was kind of sad and feeling some type of way about it because, this guy, I really wanted to be with him. But then I started questioning, you know what? I might have just dodged the bullet because do I even want to be with this guy? Like, is that really what you want? You know, is he really what you want? And when I thought about it, I stepped back and I stopped pursuing the situation because I was like, you know what? I don't know. I really didn't know. I know that I was physically attracted to him. I know that we had chemistry. But guess what? Physical attraction and chemistry is not going to sustain your relationship. It's not going to keep you happy. The only thing that's going to keep you happy in your relationship is if you and your mate know without a doubt what you know about yourself. You have to know that you can deal with the type of person that takes the toilet paper off the toilet paper ring and sits it on the side. If that bothers you, you need to start doing some. See, it's petty, right? We can be petty. That's how petty I was. Something as simple as my ex-husband removing the toilet paper off the ring because I could not understand why do you do that? It drove me crazy. But guess what? Just because I couldn't handle it doesn't mean the next woman can't, because she knows who she is. See, I didn't know who I was. So the woman that my ex-husband is with now, she might have figured out a long time ago who she was and what she can deal with and what she could tolerate. So therefore, that may not bother her. I don't know. But what I'm saying is it may not. It may not drive her insane like it did me. So I was in a relationship where I had no peace. There was no real peace in my relationship. Yeah, we got on Facebook. We took our pictures. We did all our family functions with my family, his family. We did Thanksgiving. We did all the traditional things. But at the end of the day, when we went home, we knew what it was. There was no longer a bond or a sincere or genuine type of affection between us. You know, our relationship towards the end started to be fueled not by our efforts, but by the efforts of everybody else around us. My friends, his friends, my family, his family, people posting up, oh, you look good together, y'all my favorite couple, and all that stuff. That was what was carrying our relationship towards the end. But see, people and family and other people who feel like you're supposed to be with that person, that's not where the relationship is going to be able to survive. You can't build a relationship off of someone else cheering you on. Your relationship has to be built on a foundation where you and your mate are cheering each other on, where you and him are in it together. But the only way you're going to be able to be in it together, you both have to know. He has to know who he is. You have to know who you are. See, once he knows who he is, basically, you have to keep it 100. Not even 100. Keep it 1,000 with yourself. So men, if you know that the type of woman you really want to be with is a stripper type of woman, is a woman who shows off her body, she's the type of woman that's always on Instagram, you know, she just loves who she is, and she's just one of these open-minded, outspoken, what they call them, there's a name. I have a couple friends like that. They're like free spirits. That's what they are. Free spirits. So if you know that is the type of woman that you want, you cannot settle for the type of woman that somebody else thinks you need. You have to be with the person that you want to be with. Because let me tell you, this is where the infidelities come in at. This is where the dishonesty comes in. When you don't be true to you and who you are, and when you don't know who you are, you only open a window and a door of opportunity for you to cheat and for you to be dishonest and all that stuff that eventually weighs down on a relationship and destroys the foundation of that relationship is going to come flooding in like a floodgate. I'm telling you. You have to know who you are, and you cannot care what people think about it, because a lot of people would try to put you with somebody, and a lot of people put you with certain people because they really don't want the responsibilities of them having to be there for you all the time, or them having to carry you. And I see a lot of women do it. A lot of women are put up with men that can take care of them, because guess what? Some friends and family just don't want to take on the responsibilities of financially supporting you. So they'll easily stick you with somebody that they feel like can take care of you. But at the end of the day, you're not completely happy with this person. This person is taking care of you, but yet you're cheating on this person. You're not appreciating this person. You're taking this person for granted, because that is not what you want. That is not what you want. You know, you will tell you what you want. So you have to stop settling for situations. That goes with the house. That goes with the car. I can tell you from experience with the house, you can't settle with moving in an apartment in an area that you know you're not going to be comfortable in. Because I'm telling you, you will break your leaf. You will move. Anybody that know me, I'm probably one of my friends and family will tell you, I will move. I will move like that. And the reason why I moved so much, I used to move all the time. Every year seemed like I moved. I never stayed in a place more than a year. Because, you know why? Because when I looked at the place, I was looking at it for the wrong reason. I looked at it because it was cost effective. I could afford it, number one. Number two, it might have been conveniently located by my children's school or something. And I ended up settling on that neighborhood for those reasons. But because I know who I am, and I know the type of life I want to live, and I know what type of neighborhood I want to live in, I wasn't happy. So as soon as my lease would come up, I was out of there. You know, so like I said, it goes for everything that we do. You know, stop settling for situations. Stop settling for houses that you really don't want. You don't really want that. You're just settling for it because you're tired of looking. You know, you're tired of looking for apartments. You're tired of, driving this car that you have. You want to get out of it so bad, so you're settled for just getting something else because it's different. But that's not really what you want. And you know that it's not what you want. Somebody said, how do you know that it's not what you want? You know that it's not what you want because you're not happy. If you were truly happy, why are you even considering looking for another car? If you are truly happy with where you are, why are you considering moving into another house? If you're truly happy in your relationship, why are you seeking the attention of another woman or another man? Why are you entertaining these people? Why are you calling and texting other women and other men as soon as your mate or your spouse does something you don't like, or as soon as you have a disagreement? Because that's not where you really want to be. You just settled in that situation. So let me see what I wrote down on my notes before I end this. Okay, I did put down, I think I said this too. Stop being the cause of someone else's pain. Okay? Stop being the cause of someone else's pain by figuring out who you are. Ask yourself. Okay? I want all of you to ask yourself. I do it every night. And you know where I do it at? I do it in the shower. When I'm in the shower, for some reason, I can meditate, and I'm in there, and I ask myself a lot of things. Everything that I set out to do in my day, like if I have a new goal or a business venture or something that I just want to do, I go and I ask myself, okay, is that what you really want? I don't just jump and do it. I put the pros and the cons together. I just come up with every possible negative and positive that I can think of to basically, honestly, answer myself. Because don't lie to yourself, because we do it all the time. We lie to our inner selves and tell ourselves that we can handle something and that we can deal with something. But then we find out that we just only lied to ourselves, because if we could really handle it, it wouldn't bother us so much. We wouldn't be so aggravated, and we wouldn't be nitpicking about every little thing that someone does, or, trying to find any little thing to give us a reason to try and escape a situation if that's where we really want it to be. So, if you find out who you are, you will stop being the cause of somebody else's pain and the cause of somebody else's disappointment. And I say that because you know how, say for instance, you get into a relationship. And a lot of us get into a relationship because we're pressured again by other people. It's not what you really wanted. It sounded good at the time. You know, the situation looked good at the time. But you have to really ask yourself some very important questions. And some of those questions are, if this person was to lose if they were to lose their job, or if they were to lose this house, or if they were, not able to provide for me the way that they are providing for me, would I still be able to be with this person? Would I still be attracted to this person? Would this person still turn me on? And those are the things I ask myself, because we look at, like I said, we are naturally physically attracted by people. Everybody who denies that, I'm telling you, we are human. The first thing that attracts us to a person, to even get us to approaching a person, is the physical appearance, or the physical, what is the word I want to use? The physical assumption of what we perceive a person to be or what they have. And then when you find out, when you're able, so basically the book cover. So like when you're shopping for books, you're at the library or whatever, you're trying to find a good read. What attracts you to even checking the book out? The cover. You go to the back, you read a little bit of the excerpt of the book. They talk about the author. They talk about little things, and then you make the decision as to whether or not you're going to check this book out. So once you check the book out and you start reading the book, that's when you're going to start realizing that the book wasn't all as the cover made it out to be. Like, the cover seemed like the book was going to have all this juiciness going on. But then when you open the book and start reading the book, you realize this book is boring. This book is boring. This is a stupid book. And that's what is happening in a lot of relationships. So what do? You close the book. You don't even want to waste time on the book anymore, and you start looking for another book. Before you even take the book back to the library, you are looking for another book. So a lot of us do that in our everyday life. It's natural. And that's why it is very important for us guys to find out who we are and be petty, be 100. I mean, down to the most smallest of thing, you have to ask yourself. Because any little thing that disturbs your peace, it is going to cause a big commotion, and it's going to disturb the peace of the entire household. So unless you're happy and truly at peace, no one in the house is going to be happy. Because my ex-husband, I know he wasn't happy, because I just ran around the house nitpicking about every little thing, raised all type of hell. And I know he probably was like, oh my God, like what in the world? What is it today? What is the problem? Now that I think about it, I might have drove Aaron crazy. Because I didn't know, I was, trying to figure out who I was. And when I started to figure out who I was, I started realizing, ew, I don't like that about you. And I would tell him, and he's like, what? I've been doing this for years. Like, okay, but I don't like it. I want you to stop. Can you stop? And it's like, how can you ask somebody to stop something that they've been doing all their life? It's almost damn near impossible. They're not going to stop right away. So then you have to start thinking, is this person worth me staying with them until the habit is broken? Until they stop? And then you don't know how long is it going to be before you stop. Then you find yourself asking this person every so often, and to them it just sounds like a broken record. Now they feel like you're nagging them. Now they're feeling like you don't want them around, which you really don't. But because they might want you, now they might have known what they wanted, and they're trying to, stick it out with you, but you're really making this person miserable because they genuinely want to be with you, because they knew that you were the one they wanted to be with, but you didn't know that they were the one you wanted to be with. So you see what I'm saying? You see how it's sounding like, oh my God, this household is chaotic? So that's why I say, guys, it's very important for you to know what you want. Okay, Ali, I'm reading some comments now. Ali said, y'all was faking it till you make it. Oh, yeah. So, all right, Jennifer. I don't know about writing a book, but I like doing these audios. Maybe I have to compile all my audios together, and let somebody else write the book. But anyways, guys, but yeah, my life is a book. My family tell me all the time. My sister's always telling me, when are you gonna write your book? You have so much. Oh my God, you need to write it down. And you know what? My book is coming, but I'm waiting on him to tell me when. All right. But anyways, let me read something else really quickly. I wrote down in some chicken scratch. And I probably can't even read what I wrote because I want to get it out of my hair. Hold on, guys. I'm reading my notes. Okay. I think I did make this point, though, I think. I did. I said you'll stop being the cause of your own pain and your own. Okay, yeah. All right. So basically, you guys, you are the cause of your own pain and suffering. I was the cause of my own pain and suffering. And the reason why I wasn't at peace, well, the reason why I wasn't completely at peace towards the end of my marriage. And that was because, again, I didn't know who I was. So I'm going to do part 2 to this too, because I don't want to go over the time. But anyways, when you know what you want, when you know what you want and not what somebody else wants for your life, and not what you think you want. No. It ain't about what you think. I think I want this. You have to know without a doubt that this is what you want and this is where you want to be. Because once you figure that out, you will stop being the cause of somebody else's pain. You will stop being the cause of somebody else's insecurities. You will stop being the cause of why people don't trust. We all play a role in why someone is insecure, why someone has trust issues, why someone is hurting, and why someone is miserable. We all play a role in that. And it's not that it's intentional. See, a lot of us cause a lot of unintentional pain on people, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's right. It just means that you don't mean to cause that pain. But why not stop, stop that whole cycle of I didn't mean to do it? How about just don't do it? And the only way you're not going to do it is if you know what you want first before you even commit yourself to anything. Before you commit yourself to buying that car, know that you want that car. Know that you can afford those payments. Know that the insurance may be a little higher than the insurance on the car that is paid for. You have to know what you want. You can't just settle for situations because it's convenient. Okay? And settle for situations because of a temporary feeling. Because of how you're feeling right now. You have to start making your decisions for the long term, in the long haul. Are you going to switch up later? Are you going to be able to stay the same way? If this, question yourself, start asking yourself, if this happens, start thinking about the worst possible scenarios. Okay? And ask yourself honestly, based on who you are, and based on who you are, meaning how would you feel? How would it make you feel? A lot of women go into relationships thinking that they can handle their husband or their boyfriend watching porn. You tell yourself because you wanted to be with that man. See, you just settled for one of his fetishes and one of the things that he genuinely loves to do because you desperately wanted to be with him. You didn't think about who you was. Am I the type of person that gets bothered because my husband watches porn? Because my husband likes to sit and watch other people have sex. Does that bother me? Will that bother me? Ask yourself these questions. Stop going into relationships telling yourself, oh, it don't bother me. He can watch that because I'm telling you. Once you get with him and you realize how much he watched porn, don't come back talking about, well, I didn't know you watch it this much. No. Because a person that truly isn't bothered by it, They're not going to care how much time he spends in front of his computer watching porn. They're not going to care. He can do it 23 hours out of his day. A person that is not bothered by that, who really knew that they were the type of person that it did not bother, is not going to say a mumbling word. Like the old folks used to say, you're not going to say a mumbling word. It ain't going to bother you. Life going to go on. You're not going to feel no type of way. But see, a lot of you get into these relationships telling yourself it's okay. I can handle it. Every man watch porn. I can deal with that. But as soon as you get with that man and you realize that this is something he really enjoys, and he enjoys it to the point where when you and him having sex, he got to have a flat screen over there with some porn on it. So now you're looking at him sideways like something is wrong with him. No, something was wrong with you for not evaluating who you was. Because he telling you who he is. He already watching that stuff. He already watching it. You was watching it with him when y'all first met. But because you were trying to, run this line and act like it was okay because you wanted him, it was okay then. But see, that wasn't really what you wanted. You know how they say, you ain't about that life. You wasn't about that life, sis. Bruh, I'm trying to talk in y'all lingo now. Bruh, you wasn't about that life. This is what she do. You said it didn't bother you that she liked to show her boobs, that she liked to wear tight clothes, that she liked to keep the weave in her hair. You said that don't bother you. You said that that's what attracted you to her. You lied to yourself, bruh. That's all we do. We lie to ourselves to feel a void at that time. And then once we feel that void and get what we think we wanted, you realize you didn't want it at all. And now it has become a problem. So this is what I'm saying to you guys. Know that who you are and what you want. Know what you want and who you are. So again, I repeat, if it bothers you that your man is into his looks, he likes to get his pedicures done, he keep his beard cut, he got an Instagram, he on Instagram, he like to work out, he like to go to the gym, he like to keep his appearance up, this is just him. You need to ask yourself, do I want that type of man in my life? Do I want a type of man that's more flashier than me? Ask yourself these questions, and I promise you, you will avoid a lot of your own hurt and pain, and you will stop being the pain and hurt of other people. All right, guys, Miss Ross here. All right, I'm tuning out. My kids are waiting on me. It's Netflix and chill night. All right, you guys make sure you stay tuned and tune in to MissRossRadio.com. And don't forget my morning show on Fridays, guys, at 10 a.m. If I'm not live, you guys, I promise I will have a pre-recorded audio for you because I'm always recording myself. Sometimes I'm laying in my bed, I get a thought. I just take out my recorder and I start recording. I start talking. Just like I'm talking to you now, I do that. All right. So again, guys, thank you so much. Good night. Mwah. Later.